whole different world out here. Very thick, logged. So we're going into these, going down these logging roads and checking out these logged areas. That was way easier than I've been making it. Checking out this burn area now, closed road. Gonna hike up in here about a mile, see what we can see. I like the way this looks. It's on the edge of the burn, very green. Oh yeah. It's pretty dry, but it's also baking in the sun.
That's what I was gonna say. How long would it take for it to dry out like that, just in the direct sun?
4 hours. Good looking country up here. He scouted this in the outhouse this morning. Made it back to the pickup. Gonna head to camp for lunch. I'm gonna key in on this area tonight and tomorrow morning. So we saw some bear scat. It's hot. Like 90 degrees hot. Trying to get a nap in before the evening hike. Bear hunting's so fun. Just heading back into that burn area for the afternoon. See what happens. Saw bear dung here on the road, so never know. So we've kind of spread out along this edge of the road, really. You can see the road right here. There's scat, dung, poop on the road, so, and this country looks really good. There's a lot of green grass, easy to see. That's the most important part. That stuff we got into this morning was impossible to see into. There's just barely any clear cuts, and it just wasn't that good. So we're gonna give it hell this evening. The sun's gonna be in a terrible spot in a minute here, so I'm probably gonna shift, but I wanted to get eyes on this before the sun was too bad. Then once it sinks below the hill, I'll move back over here. Got a great stump, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about this area. It's gonna be hot again tomorrow. I'm gonna run into that town and get a $4 shower. Probably another cheeseburger. And then, some more of that. I got some spicy pickled okra. Stuff's real good, and it was really cheap. I might buy a bunch of it. It's one of my favorite snacks. Yeah. Alright, tomorrow's gonna be hot again, so midday we'll probably take a break. The next day, it's supposed to get cool. A little cold front pushing. Should get them moving good. Alright. In for another riveting evening of bear glassing. It's gonna be a long June, I think. Couple of things have really amazed me on this week. One is just how much stuff looks like a bear, and two is how much country I've glassed without like game animals in it. It's wild. Just thoughts, glassing thoughts with Dan. Pretty excited about today's meal. Kung Pao rice with chicken from Backpacker's Pantry. Backpacker's Pantry are some good meals. That Alpenair, I haven't tried. I bought two other of that Alpenair stuff. I'm real scared to try it. I'll try it later. I'm realizing as this gets more and more boring, this hunt and video to follow, I need to come up with some creative ways to make it interesting, so I think I'm going to get serious from now on about backcountry food reviews and give them honest ratings. So just looking back at the meals I have had this week, first one, pad thai from Backpacker's Pantry. Unbelievable. I've never had pad thai at a restaurant. I'm going to now, and I don't know if it'll be that good. I'll give that a 9.6. Second night, I had beef stroganoff from Peak Refuel. It was good. It wasn't very filling. It wasn't very big portion. It was okay. The beef didn't really rehydrate at all, but it was still good. Give it like a 6.4. And then what did I have? Oh yeah, I had, was it the curry next? I think it was the curry next, yeah. Like a 1, no, not even, like a 0.8 Alpenair spicy chicken curry. And then the last night, what did I have? Oh, I had the spicy beer brats. Real good from the local hour away grocery store. But I paid for them dearly today, so I would say those brats, like I have to go through that town on the way back anyway. I would say brat-wise, like a 9.1. So we're about to see what this rates. I'll do the one bite deal and rate it. Alright, the long awaited 20 minutes is up. Comes with this nice little chili flakes, red pepper. I always have these cute little additions to little condiments to add to your meal. They just do a bang up job. I'm clearly gonna add all that. Not gonna lie, the consistency doesn't look great. But I haven't stirred it yet. One thing I will say, I was kind of mean to, oh yeah, it's mixing up good. I was kind of mean to the Peak beef stroganoff because it was pretty good. But I did rate it over 6. The cool thing about the Peak one was it used like half a cup of water, which when we were back in the wilderness was a big deal because we're glassing on ridges, high ridges, and the creeks with the water are in the bottom. So mostly just tried to fill up when we were hiking. Alright, it's just about mixed up here. Worried it's gonna be hot. One bite. Everyone knows the rules. Six, 7. Much rather have the pad thai. Still good though. Still good. Consistency's good. Just, I don't know, there's a lot of carrots. It's kind of weird. But, yeah, decent meal. Food. Still the highlight of bear hunting. Almost every day. Alright, grind it out for a few more hours. The sun has dropped. The mosquitoes have come out. I, of course, forgot my bug spray. And when this happens, when the sun goes down, the next thing to start appearing are bumps bear stumps. Unreal. You end up watching stuff for like 3 minutes, just praying it moves. It never does. I think that's gonna about wrap it up for day 5. Saw 2 muleys this evening and heard 1 elk bugle. Nice June bugle. I used to do that all the time when I was catching fawns in June in the Black Hills to collar them. It's kind of weird. I was always like, why do they do that? And Steve, my old boss, was just like, I don't really know. They do it every year, so kind of cool. June bugles. Okay, I said it would be a success if we see a bear this week. So far, unsuccessful. I learned in some new country. I think we're kind of figuring it out, even though we haven't seen one. It's been hot. I don't know if they're moving much. Alright. Signing off. Back to the grind. Just rolling up. Yeah, sit in the same spot we did last night. Then we have a couple ideas after this. It's been a couple of hours here. Jeez, that looks like a bear. Bump. Happens all day, every day. Alright, stay tuned. Probably have some breakfast here soon. Decent flavor in today's bag. Not as good as the peaches and cream. Already boiling. Live action, baby. As boring as bear hunting is, it's pretty badass to start your morning off back away from any open roads, looking into the mountains, eating instant oatmeal. It's not a bad life. The hiking gets kind of old, but it's good for you. Another bust of a morning. I think I have a plan I want to implement. Get back in the Frank again. Here we go. It's gonna be the last leg here. We just picked up camp and we are gonna head into the Frank now. Only like 3 miles and camp as low as we can. Really drop an elevation down to the river. So from there we're gonna glass up, and then the thought is we can work our butts off to get up to the bears, kill them, and then it's easy to pack them out. Kind of went down there and checked it out already. It looks pretty good. So did run by a big guide camp and they're all baiting. They had a bunch of bait stuff out and whatnot. Bunch of wall tents. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna try it out. I think it's a good idea. I wish we would have tried it earlier. This is one of those instances I was talking about earlier where the trails are always harder than they look in here. See, this one's 5 times harder than I thought it would be. Whew. And it's like 90 degrees. We're under a heat advisory, so pretty miserable. Here it is. Last campsite. Would be real fun to do a rafting trip down this sucker. Just freaking gorgeous. Check out this runway. Some real frickin' deal pilots landing that sucker, baby. Down in this canyon. Trees about 80 yards apart, 60 yards apart. Little cabin over there. That's unreal. Unfortunately, there's a mountain squall kicking up here. I hiked out and found what mountain I'm going to climb in the morning to glass off of, but it's so hot and I was worried about my stuff getting wet, so I came back and set up camp. The other boys are still out hunting, but figure maybe before this rain hits I'll slap the old route around a little. This place is absolutely stunning. I did catch some weird little fish. Should be hunting right now. Damn.
So it's like barstool, one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Yep.
Forever young mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's kind of like a old Easy Mac vibe with not so great peas in it. Real soupy. Never did thicken up. I was gonna be harsher on it, but it's actually getting better. I'd say 5.4.
Pretty good for Alpen Air. Mac and
I'd say
cheese.
my average for the week's been about a 8.2, so
Wow.
it's probably the worst one so far.
Good. Well, big morning. I am currently headed up the mountain to spend the day glassing. We all kind of split up and it's got a better feel to it today. It did thunderstorm last night. Rained pretty good, pretty dewy. Probably not dew, it's probably just from the precip, but either way, it's not as hot as it was yesterday afternoon, so alrighty, let's get after it. Man, this makes me miss turkey season. Oh, this is horrible. It's hot as frick. Hot as frick, man. It's humid because it stormed all day. Bears aren't gonna be doing anything. They'll be in the timber laying around, eating morels. Whew. Alright, I finally made it up here. You know, the thought of hunting in June is really cool until you climb 3,000 vertical feet in 1.5 miles and it's 80 degrees with who knows what humidity. It was miserable. But I can see everything I wanted to see from up here, so that's the main thing. Let's flip it around and show you. I want to watch that drainage, all that side hill, that ridge. I would like to get a little further around the corner, but it's good looking stuff here. June hunting also sounds really fun until there's like literally 1 million bugs around your face all the time, and there's nothing you can do about it because you left your bug spray at camp. It's absolutely insane to me that they take boats up the rest of this river right now. Guess they can because it's so high, but still. We've got a lot to learn about Idaho. Access, hunting wise. That's just freaking nuts. And you see those boats are everywhere. Guys take them up Hell's Canyon, I know, all the time. Insane to me. See them hit these are some rapids here. I mean, they're really full, but that's where that other creek comes in. That's That's insane. Pretty big review coming up here. Biscuits and sausage gravy. Peak refuel. I'm real excited for this. I was gonna eat it after I killed a bear, but didn't kill a bear. We're about to pack it up and head out. I'll eat, first bite will be sans hot sauce, because I don't want to taint the original flavor and give it a false rating, which would obviously be higher with hot sauce. All right, moment of truth. One bite, everyone knows the rules. Holy shit. I give that a 9.7. Amazing. Wow. Totally worth the wait. It's honestly as good as any biscuits and gravy I've ever had anywhere. Could be situational. Added the some habanero condiment to it, which really bumps it up to like a 9.9. Fuel for the short hike back. All right. Well, we're done. We're heading back home. I was ready to head back home. Did 74 miles of hiking. We might have been hiking too much. I would say in the first section we definitely were. I don't know if we needed to worry about getting as far back as we did. And especially we got too high up because there was no sign up there. All the sign was, at least 1,000 feet lower than we got to. So, I guess lessons learned. If there's snow, don't go, if that makes sense. If there's snow at the elevation you're at, that's not the place to be. Also, probably weather was the worst factor for us. It was just too hot. So I don't know if the weather forecast looks like it's going to be hot, I may not go from now on. Especially if it's this hot. 90 degrees is a little warm for anything to be outside. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good learning experience. You know, I know it's not easy. If anybody thinks they can come spot and stalk a bear and not have to work at it, then they are crazy. I knew it was going to be hard, and I know that you just got to keep looking at country, I think. Just keep it up until you find bears. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm hoping the rest of the month I'll be able to hunt the weekends at least a little bit. But, yeah. No, like I said, good experience. Get to see some sweet country. First time in the Frank Church, so, yeah, good time.